And we're live. Welcome back to Big Shots Extras. I am Mike Hrynyshyn. He is Nick Price. We are both of BlueChipScouting.com. And this is episode 2. So, last week we kind of did, a bit of a rundown of what the show is going to be. We're going to talk about our conferences. If you don't remember, Nick talks about the AAC as well as Conference USA. I am the FCS and the Sun Belt. But because we're rebels, because we're big shots, on episode 2, we've already thrown away that format. Today we wanted to
no consistency.
No consistency. We decided that since there's been a lot of talk about the quarterbacks already, shocker, that we were just going to instead talk about some quarterbacks.
Yeah. I tweeted like a little meme about like a couple weeks before the draft of like it's a whole bunch of Spider-Men pointing at each other in a circle, and it's all the different like quarterback phantoms that are probably going to come out of this class.
Oh, wait till we get Bo Nix fandom.
Listen, I didn't even add Bo Nix to the list, man. I just didn't think he had a shot of like. I didn't think he had a shot of amounting to like much this season anyway, so it kind of just didn't cross my mind. But I
rightfully so.
And I put Desmond Ritter and Malik Willis stands in there, so I included that very vibrant fan base.
Oh, they're already out in full force.
Yeah, and it's June the 11th. No.
But Nick, there's only like 10 more months of this.
God, I'm gonna need to up my alcohol consumption if that's the case. God Almighty, and listen, I want to say this like as clearly as I can. If people think that the whole debacle around like Justin Fields and Mac Jones was bad like a couple months ago, it's about to be a whole hell of a lot worse. Like, so just grab your popcorn and your favorite beer and just sit back and watch it all unfold. And the worst part is like I'm going to be one of those people like dead in the middle of it because I have to talk about our lovely friend from University of Cincinnati, Desmond Ritter.
Oh, I have to talk about Grayson McCall. So
good luck with that, Mike.
That's just that's my input on Grayson McCall. Just horse noise. Jeez.
Well, kind of getting to more the real nitty gritty of the situation. So I took the time to watch Desmond Ritter earlier this week in the middle of my busy schedule.
I don't know why you did that to yourself.
I wanted to. Listen, man. I get why people do like Ritter as much as they do. That's very true, Dante.
Very true.
Morgan. There are worse fates than death, and that's one of them. Anyway. No, I took the time to watch Ritter this week. Just to kind of go ahead and get it over with. Yeah, he's probably the best quarterback out of my division anyway, unless Dylan Gabriel really surprises me. Crossing my fingers. But no, I get why people like Ritter as much as they do. Like, sorry, I get why they like him because like he's very very toolsy in my opinion. Like the ball comes out fine. Like he has a very nice release. It comes with great velocity. He's very mobile. He's not quite like wild change of direction type stuff, but like he's very consistent with creating creating yards from stuff out of structure as a runner. You can get him involved in QB runs and stuff like that, so that's perfectly fine. I didn't think his decision making was that bad overall. I thought it was actually pretty decent, and I mean obviously he has the great size. He's 6'4" and 215. I mean that's perfect. Kind of got some long, lanky legs, but that's good. That's good, height to weight ratio. The problem with Desmond Ritter and our boys Dante and Corey Kennan kind of said this week. He can't hit the broadside of a barn.
No,
which is a damn shame, really. Like that, I mean, I kind of went into this his evaluation expecting some issues with accuracy. I didn't think I would be as frustrated as I was. I mean, there are like it's so weird because like there are times where like he looks like he's looks like he's consistent. He's hitting guys in stride. He's putting into like exactly where it needs to be. But then again, he'll overthrow like a swing route to the running back, like badly, like overthrow it, and it's like I give him a 71.4 out of 100, which is a 4th round grade for us. I mean, there's some people a bit more generous, kind of get bumped up to round 3, but I can't do it. I think granted, if he comes to this season, because most of the offense is returning, I think the only people that a big name people that really left out of that Cincinnati offense are James Hudson and Jared Dokes.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
he's got all of his main weapons.
Yeah, I mean, his tight end's great. I haven't done a full eval, but like just watching him like out of my periphery, watching Ritter this week, he's pretty good in my opinion. And they still got their little group of receivers, which Ritter seems like he has good confidence in. So if I'm hoping for his sake and my mental sanity, that he takes that next step, develops more accuracy, becomes more consistent, and then also another thing I kind of knocked him for is progressions. He's not like awful with his progressions. I think it's more it's like progressions are one of those things like it's kind of hard to judge sometimes because the offenses are vary from school to school, obviously.
Yeah.
So like they could be asking him to make 1 or 2 different reads and just chunk it. So, but like but that said, like I noted in my scouting report this week, that, like he'd make those 1 or 2 reads, but also he completely overlooked like somebody that was wide open. So I don't know if he's just
the Chase Bryce special, if you will.
Yes. So I don't know if he's just like so locked into the way the offense functions, or it's just something he's just like not seeing in general. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I totally get it.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at with Ritter. I'm not a big Ritter stan. I know that's going to disappoint a lot of people out there, but I really do hope he improves though, because I do like the just about everything else about him, relatively speaking. It's just that his accuracy bugs me.
Yeah, no, I think. I could be wrong here, but accuracy on a quarterback is pretty important.
Kind of is.
And guys that are inaccurate at college tend not to get better at the NFL level.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Call me crazy, but I'm just going to say if it's not there in college, it may not get any better. And it's weird because you contrast that with someone like Ritter that's gotten a lot of hype despite not being overly accurate. You can look at those same, if box score scouts are probably shitting, part of my language, all over Nevada's Carson Strong. And I watched Carson Strong. And his receivers have hands like feet.
Which is interesting because I wanted I know it's probably disappointing Austin, but Romeo Dobbs just from like a periphery.
He does not like Romeo Doubs or Dobbs or Doubs. I don't know how to say it, but I do know that he is not a fan of the Nevada wide receiver because none of them boys can catch.
Yeah. Well, it's also another thing you also have to take into account when evaluating quarterbacks, is that their surrounding talent. Because if a receiver's dropping a well thrown pass, that's not really on the quarterback. I mean,
that happens a lot with Strong. I watched the San Diego State game was extremely frustrating to watch. Not because Strong had a bad game. If you looked at the numbers, you'd think so. But his receivers were dropping everything. I told Austin this, and Austin was just like, "Yo, dude, no." That's the terrible game to watch for him because his receivers are like, yeah, I'm going to catch this curl route and then take it to the end zone. And they're already turning around, but they've forgotten to take the ball with them. I
don't know if that's like a them thing or something. I don't want to disparage the coaching staff, but if they're losing that much concentration while trying to catch a football, I would assume that's might be a coaching thing.
So
but I digress.
I don't know how many other quarterbacks outside of Ritter and the Conference USA guys and everything that you've watched, but
which isn't many because like I said, I haven't done.
What was your feeling for the top quarterbacks be?
Ritter's definitely quarterback one out of my group. I know there's some Dylan Gabriel fans.
Oh no, I mean in general, not just your
in general. I don't know. I feel like Rattler is probably gonna be the consensus QB1 coming out of summer. I know, like in our own little personal talks, like in the Blue Chip group chat, like we're kind of like starting to kind of get on board with Matt Corral, even though I think he's actually a psychopath with his decision making. Which I haven't done a full eval, and it's just that's just me watching like Royce Newman and Kenny Yebo last year versus Arkansas.
Oh, that's a bad game for him.
Yeah, I remember like watching that like live or just looking at it on the BR app like score-wise, and I'm like, dude, you're off the chain. Anyway, there's also some talking about kind of putting this back. There's also some guys that were I want to say under unknowns that could potentially pop off, like Emory Jones from Florida. I know that's Tyler Forness's dude, but I mean,
Forness is probably Oh, hang on. I must have missed this a second ago, but Dante concurs.
Yes. Dante with a base take, as always. Anyway, no, like Emory Jones could like come in, like step in, because they still have some pretty halfway decent weapons there in Florida. So like Emory Jones can come in, like, and just set the world on fire and be like in like the middle and the thick of the QB talk for this year. Also, I mean, Jaden Daniels and Caden Slovis, like Pac-12 was kind of weird last year because COVID restrictions and stuff. So I
think they each only played 4 games or something like that.
Yeah,
too.
I hate to be a box score scout, but like they didn't look really impressive from Iowa. Much. Granted, this is me not having watched the film because I'm probably not gonna watch like all the QBs until like another like week or two. So, I mean, they'll probably look for bounce back years. So, yeah, and then Hal, like I know Hal, like a couple years ago, like I would say a couple of years ago, like a year ago, was kind of like that guy. It's like, oh, Baker Mayfield, he's gonna be like
I need people to stop with the Baker Mayfield Sam Howell thing.
Yeah, he looks like Baker Mayfield. It's just like
aesthetically, he looks like Baker Mayfield. I'm not sure that they play
like
the same. I'm not sure that they play the same. I don't get the same vibe from them, and I don't
know. I'm worried with how like he lost like all of his big name weapons to the NFL.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he lost everybody. He lost 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and now it's like, yeah, great. You've got like your 5th string wideout from last year's now your number 1, and at least you've got your old offensive line. But True. I need to see him actually take it over, because is it a case of the offense made him or he made the offense?
And I'm really hoping it's the latter, because like I want to like Sam Howell. Like I want like deep down, I want all these quarterbacks to be good.
Oh no. Yeah. I don't want anyone thinking that I'm like rooting against these quarterbacks, because I'm not. Trust me, I'm not.
Oh, speaking of other guys, there's someone else I don't think anyone's really talked about yet. Is JT Daniels from Georgia.
Yeah, no, I don't think anyone has talked about JT Daniels. So I mean, he played I want to say he played only like 3 or 4 games.
Yeah.
With Georgia last year. So
yeah. Which him without George Pickens, isn't George Pickens basically going to miss the entire year this
year? He is torn ACL.
That's a shame. That's an honest to God shame. But I don't know. This is going to be a weird year for quarterbacks. Like, because everybody's going to have a different QB1. I'm convinced of it. Like you're going from like big board to big board. It's going to be different, I would say.
I'm already seeing that. I've seen everything from QB1 being, JT Daniels. I've seen Jaden Daniels. I've seen Sam Howell. I've seen Spencer Rattler. I've seen Malik Willis.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I even saw Grayson McCall as QB1 somewhere. And I would like to know what drugs are legal in that state.
We talked about McCall last
week. Or if that was written by Grayson McCall's mother.
It might have been.
I mean, it very well could have been. I don't want. I come across as being like really harsh on Grayson McCall. I just don't think he's anywhere near ready to go test the NFL waters yet. So
no, I don't think
he's a year away from being a year away. So yeah. He, legitimately 2023, maybe 24. Like that's when we can start talking about Grayson McCall. Right. Not this coming year. I'm all the way out on that. But I want to talk. We mentioned Spencer Rattler, who kind of is in a lot of cases the presumptive QB1, and I think you can tell by just the way people are talking about this quarterback class. It's not great. It's not.
No.
It reminds me a bit of 2019.
I was about to say the same thing.
With some 2013 mixed in there as well.
Yikes.
Like, these guys could all either, like, okay, I'll put it to you this way. When you look at, like, 2019, it was Kyler, Daniel Jones, Dwayne Haskins. Like, you had random Senior Bowl riser Daniel Jones. Yeah. 1 year wonder guy Dwayne Haskins. Possibly baseball player Kyler Murray. And then you had, like, Will Greer from West Virginia and Drew Lock. I legitimately got to him last, and he's one of the only ones that's done anything, and he hasn't been good. Tyree Jackson had a hive on.
God. Don't remind me of Tyree Jackson. Damn it! I drank the Kool-Aid on that one, man, and I think I was like a lot of people drank the Kool-Aid on Tyree Jackson, and we all just
Gardner Minshew. Let's not forget Gardner Minshew was in that class. But you had a whole lot of, like, these guys are going to hit or they're going to fail.
Yeah,
and there's really no in between. And as we've seen, Kyler's done well. Everybody else is just not.
Yeah. That's kind of like my worry.
Been replaced, or being talked about being replaced. Like, it could be that type of year. Or worst case scenario, it's 2013 and QB1 is EJ Manuel.
Yeah. Which I don't think
QB2 is Geno Smith.
I'm going to be fairly optimistic. I don't think it's going to be quite that bad, but
I hope it's not that bad.
My worry for this class is, though, it's we're going to kind of get to that a bunch of, I would say, Brad Kaya's, where, like, they get like a lot of good hype.
Don't bring up Brad Kaya and hurt my feelings like that.
Like, they're gonna get like a ton of some really promising hype, and then we don't talk about them in 4
ever again.
Yeah, that's kind of like my worry without, like, really diving into the tape and, like, really looking at his prospects. Like, just from an outside view of what other people I trust are talking about. That's the vibe I'm kind of getting.
There are really 3 different directions for this QB class. It's either 2019 and there's, like, one guy that stands out and the rest are kind of bad or just average or stick around as backups. It's 2013 in which everybody is bad.
Yeah.
Or it's 2015 where there's quarterbacks go like 1, 2, and then there's like a 3-round just cliff.
Yeah.
Because 2015 had Jameis, Marcus Mariota, and then 3 rounds later was Garrett Gilbert. Or not Garrett Gilbert. No.
Was it or was he 2016? I don't remember.
Sorry, who?
Sean Mannion.
He was that year as well, I think. Oh, no, not Garrett Gilbert. Grayson something. Garrett Grayson? Colorado State kid?
That sounds right.
Yeah. See how memorable that class was?
Yeah.
Like, it could be that. Now, again, I have Rattler as QB1. I think that he's, as it stands right now, like a late first, early second.
Yeah, he has an 86 out of 100 for me.
Yeah.
But I feel fairly confident about that. I mean, I like Rattler.
I gave, and then I have it, I've done 4 outside of my conference. I'm not factoring in any of the players that I've watched from my conferences because they don't deserve to be in this conversation. I'm sorry. I bet Eric Barrier from Eastern Washington is a great kid. I'm not even going to mention him in this discussion. But I have it Rattler, Phil Dracovic out of Boston College, who I have is kind of like the mid-second, Sam Howell, who I have a mid-second, and Carson Strong, who's probably mid to late second.
Yeah.
Now, if you're wondering where Malik Willis is, haven't finished him. Where would he fit into that? Probably mid-second.
Yeah.
There's a lot of mid-second round quarterbacks this year. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
No.
If anything, some of these quarterbacks that I've given mid-second round grades in the past have turned out to be pretty decent. Carson Wentz, Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, all guys that I gave mid-second round grades.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing per se.
No. Let's talk about quarterbacks fun. It's
we have 10 more months of this. Let's talk about some guys not at quarterback. Behind the curtains, I've had a week. I won't go into it, but again, thank you for everyone that had reached out to me over the week. I appreciate your support. Nick is dying of exhaustion and allergies, so we probably won't go too much longer.
All right, because there are a couple guys both in the. Actually, there's actually several guys I kind of want to get to, but
okay, go for it. You go. The floor is yours, good sir.
Okay, cool. So, if you follow my timeline around Monday, Tuesday, I watched Tyler Smith from Tulsa. He's their starting left tackle. Jack Borowski. Sorry if I mispronounced your name, Jack. You're a great person, but thank you for getting me on the Tyler Smith. This dude is mean, like I've like literally the first play I turned on, and I tweeted this, is literally him pancaking a guy and making him stay down.
Oh,
like,
this is the Tulsa tackle. Yeah.
And like, I think there's a play during the what games did I watch? I'm not doing good. During the I think it was the Cincinnati game, it wasn't my guy. He did this, but it was I think it was like one of his teammates where like literally he like threw him, like he did the same thing he did to the guy from Oklahoma State. He literally threw him to the ground, but then he literally stood over here and like looked down upon him like a giant looking down like a little small ant or something. You know, that kind of stuff.
He just kind of looked at him like, I am disappointed in you for attempting that.
Yeah. Like that, yeah. But even then, though, like he moves incredibly well. I really didn't find like any like issues in his movements when it comes to pass protection or anything like that. I thought he kind of like he struggled a little bit versus speed because like Trace Ford from Oklahoma State kind of gave him some issues. I think it was more like a timing thing. Like Trace Ford like managed to time the snap better, and then like I don't think Smith was prepared for it. But like I said, he was a very consistent pass protector, which you love to see. Run blocking, I thought he did really well. Not the best like pull trap blocks and stuff. Like he would kind of come at his opponent like from like a weird angle, and I wouldn't say he missed him, but like he wouldn't get like the best leverage on him. And he's a really smart guy too. Like he's great at like picking up like stunts and twists, and moving guys over here to his guard while he picks up somebody else. It's great. I gave him a second round grade, like end of the second round type grade. Like it was an 80 out of 100. So I have high expectations for him this season. It could be like the thing with Deion Noble, where I end up being completely dead wrong and look like a dumbass. I'm fine with that. I will stand by my opinion. Regardless, I want to move on to some cool receivers because the AAC has some really nice, really good guys to look at from like round 3 or 4. Namely, Reggie Roberson, who him blowing his knee out last season was probably one of the worst things that happened in 2020.
You know what was the best part about Reggie Roberson's season? The fact that on draft day, on day 3, Mel Kiper was wondering why Reggie Roberson hadn't been drafted yet.
Damn, Mel. That's an L for the entire state of Maryland right there.
Right?
Because Mel's from Baltimore, so.
Ooh.
Yeah. Damn. But no, yeah, like Reggie Roberson is a fantastic wide receiver prospect. I remember like hearing Trevor Sickham of the Draft Network sing his praises like around the same time last year. Dude is like incredible as a route runner. I mean, I wouldn't say he's like a leader or anything, but like yeah, he's got nice fluidity. His feet look quick. He's really good.
I just watched him carve up Texas State because I was watching Texas State today.
Yeah, like he's really good at using the whole head fake. Going one way, hit the other. He's not his teammate Danny Gray has a better deep speed, but like he's got enough speed where I think he can sufficiently outrun anybody, and he can be consistent on vertical routes. I didn't get a chance. I don't think he didn't play against Cincinnati last year because he was injured. But regardless of which, I think he struggled a little bit versus press. Just because he has, like I said, he has good feet, good hips. Quick mover, but it's not dynamic to the point where he's like completely like blowing guys away on press. Great ball tracker. Great in contested catch ability. Like there's plenty of times where like he's got one or two guys like heavily like covering him on the sideline, and he just makes those great, fantastic catches. Able to get above the rim, shows good body control, strong hands, everything. And then to kind of There's one more guy I want to talk about. Then I'll let you
go for it,
Mike. So, last year there was kind of like a run there for a while. I mean, 2020. I mean, on like short, fast wide receivers. Anthony Schwartz, Tutu Atwell for some reason.
I love how you have to slide that in for some reason.
Yeah, sorry, Rams fans. One of the guys in my conference this year, he was one of Brady White's top targets last year, and it's Calvin Austin III from Memphis. When I was doing the scouting report, I found out that he does do track and field at Memphis, which explains a lot because this dude is fast as hell. He is fast as hell. And like, it's not just the fact that he's fast too. Like he's actually pretty good as a route runner too. Kind of the same thing with Roberson, where he's like really like quick and twitchy. And like he used that speed to his advantage, like to create separation. You know, if you need a guy like it to, you know, get open deep down the field, or you know, use them on like end arounds or damn it, yeah. I'm sorry, guys. It's been a week for me. I'm blanking.
Don't worry.
But no, like he's good for that. He's also, it's weird too, because he doesn't, like, you think of a guy like that. He's about like 5'9", like 165, 170. Like he's a small guy, but he plays on the outside like quite a lot. Yeah, I want to say he's rarely ever in the slot, but like he mostly plays outside, which I thought was kind of interesting. So there's kind of that inside outside versatility with him. He's carrying a low, like a, what's this? Yeah, low high fourth round rate for me right now. Granted, he may stay there by this time. By when we get down to the spring next year, he may rise. I don't know, but so far I like what he brings to the table. He's definitely a guy I would want on my team, whether as a manufactured touch guy, or somebody I just put out there on like special teams to take it to the house. I like his tape. I feel good about it. Anyway, Mike, the floor is yours.
I watched okay. It was Jordan Scott last year that Dante comped to a cube, right?
Yes.
I have found a new cube.
Oh.
And his name is Jamar Daniels of Texas State.
Okay.
He is listed at 5'11" and 315 pounds.
Yeah, he's square.
Oh, he's not 5'11".
So he's more like probably like 5'9".
5'9" and a half, 5'10".
Oh my God, draft him. I don't care. Give him a draftable grade. Please tell me you gave him I don't think you did, but
I did not. I did not. I wanted to, but here's the thing, Nick. One of the things that carries a lot of weight on our defensive lineman is versatility, and he's a pure nose.
Yeah.
And he is not good to the point where he's not on the field on passing downs. He's rotated out at the Sunbelt level on passing downs.
Damn.
Which is disappointing.
Damn.
And he struggles with leverage, oddly enough.
Well, I mean, at that size, you think he wouldn't struggle that much.
Right. Like, low man wins, and he's the low man in every situation. But
is it like a lack of strength thing? Like, is he just not that strong?
No,
or
it's not that he's not strong. Like, because he doesn't push back the opposing center, but he also doesn't get pushed back. It's more just a standstill.
Oh, it's a stalemate.
It's a complete stalemate at the line of scrimmage. Like, you won't move him, but he's not going to move you. But he also just stands almost straight up. But he's strong enough to control it at that point. Like, watching him try to shed a block is like watching two water heaters try to dance.
Which, I mean, like, if you're talking about a nose tackle, that's not exactly a terrible thing, because he wanted to just close down gaps. But at the same time, like, someone at 5'9", you'd think he'd be a bit more of an effective gap penetrator than that.
So it's odd. He's actually not that bad in terms of going down the line of scrimmage. So, like, on an outside toss play, let's say, he'll go down the line of scrimmage, but he does not know what he's doing in terms of shooting a gap, which is weird. It was a very bizarre watch.
I would imagine.
Hand usage, no counter moves, and like one-on-one, he can kind of shed it and move himself. But in double teams, that's it. That's it. So, I mean, he's not bad, but he could be a lot better. I will say that.
Right.
The other one that I watched, and I posted him today, was Carlton Marshall, who is another small boy. He's out of Troy, and he is listed at 5'9", and he's a linebacker.
Oh,
he's listed at 5'9", 215. I'll tell you, he got range for days because sideline to sideline, he's great.
Right.
He had a great 2019 where he had 4 interceptions and returned 1 for a touchdown. In 2020, he did not care about pass coverage whatsoever. There was actually a play, and part of it is because Troy was just getting curb stomped on a week-to-week basis.
Right.
But like there was a rollout. I want to say it was against South Alabama. There was a rollout to the left, and he wasn't dropping into a zone or anything. He just kind of ran to the sideline and didn't put and like he actually to say he ran is pushing it. He briskly jogged to the sideline, and if he had stuck a hand up, he probably would have gotten a pass deflection.
Yeah,
he's a tackling machine though. He got the absolute lowest grade you can get and still be considered draftable. So he got 55 out of 100.
All right. Well, at that point, you might be a good special teams ace.
That's what I'm hoping. Is that
there's value in that?
Yeah, and here's the thing. I think that because of his size limitation, because he's not great, he either needs to turn it on in coverage or he just needs to straight up improve. He can be a special teamer. Hi, Titan. Yes, he's decided he's getting himself involved again. Shocker. Yes. I'm almost surprised it took him this long. But like he can't be an outside. He's not going to be a strong side linebacker in a 4-3. He's going to have to be a weak side, or just put him as a 3-4 inside backer because he also can't be anything outside a linebacker. Don't know if he's got the speed in order to be anything else. Now, Nick got to talk about some very fun players. I got to talk about some players. Let's talk about how we're going to finish these. Last week we did it. We're going to do this going forward. One guy from out of our conference that we watched this week that we just want a few minutes to just kind of fanboy over.
I talked about ad nauseum about defensive linemen last week. I think people might get tired of that. That's kind of my shtick. So I'm going to steal a guy from Dante's conference, Big Ten, and talk about Garrett Wilson.
Go for it.
I like Garrett Wilson. Like talk about natural explosion as a route runner. It's great. He's currently as far as great. I'm still working through the general class of receivers right now, but he's my wide receiver 1 with an 87 out of 100.
Wide receiver 2. Ooh. I like Burks. I like both of them, but I like Burks.
No, Burks is fine. I like Burks. But no, yeah, Wilson's great. I think out of him and Olave, what did I tweet? I think that he has good long speed. I think Olave is a bit faster than he is. So there's that. But I think overall Wilson's a much better route runner. He's very consistent with his hands. Like I said, I value guys who are good who can really have that good body control. Along the sideline and the back of the end zone, and really bring down those really hard to get passes. He's great at that. He tracks it well. He looks incredible, in the jump ball situations. So that's a good thing for me because that's another thing I kind of like. So I think going forward.
I believe that's Carlton Marshall he's talking about.
I say Dante, I didn't realize you were 6'1", man. But no, man,
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good. It was funny. No, but yeah, Garrett Wilson. If you haven't watched him, everybody, go watch him right now. I don't care what you're doing. If you're babysitting your kids, making dinner, just do it right now. Find some all 22 and just throw it on. Just do it. Anyway, that's my piece. Mike, go for it.
I'm gonna stick with linebackers, man. I watched Peyton Wilson out of North Carolina State this week. NC State's got a good chance to have a half dozen guys drafted this year. Yeah. Joe Marino of the Draft Network's talked a lot about their running back Zonovan Knight, who's someone I actually really like as well as kind of like
name, by the way.
elite name, especially considering he goes by the nickname of Bam.
Oh, love it. Love it.
Yeah, no, he's probably someone I'll talk about in a future episode. But I want to talk about Peyton Wilson right now. We're talking about a linebacker at 6'4", 235 pounds. Grew up in the Carolinas. Was originally a commit to UNC, and then on signing day flipped to their biggest rivals. So do you know how much balls it takes to do that? It takes 3 balls, and he has the extra one. I've now officially broken Nick, and that's my goal.
I was going to make like a Fallout joke, but that's I'll leave that.
But no, he's good, man. Short zone, he's great. Sideline to sideline, he's great. Dude can tackle a moose. It's fantastic. Seriously, he had a hit. I want to say it was the Miami game, where at the sideline, defensive backs being defensive backs, failing miserably at tackling someone at the sideline, and he just decides he's going to lower his shoulder into the right into the back plate and just send the dude flying. I think he's got a little bit of pass rush upside too. I think he could be a first round player.
Oh,
yeah, I think he could be a first round player. I think he's really good. I think NC State has the potential to have 2 first rounders this year.
I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, with the guard, yeah.
The guard, Ikemakwanu. Yeah. But no, seriously, I love the fact that Peyton Wilson, he's going to have some off-field to answer for. As a freshman, he was arrested for a domestic incident at a bar. So he's going to have that to answer to. But I think that if he checks the boxes off the field and has another fantastic season and proves that, again, just it doesn't matter. If he gets his hands on you, it's over for you. You're done. Yeah. Quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, doesn't matter. Like I said, he could tackle a moose. That's my type of linebacker.
Yeah.
And again, the fact that he's serviceable in coverage too, at that size, you could probably have him going forward a bit to rush the passer. He did that in a couple of games too. I want to say it was Virginia. Don't quote me. No, it was Virginia Tech. No, hang on. No, it wasn't Virginia Tech. That one was the Miami game. And if you want to see a player's impact, watch the games where he doesn't play for them this year. He missed 3 games this year, including the bowl game. And NC State's defense doesn't know what to do when he's not on the field. All right. If someone got by Aleem McNeil last year and Peyton Wilson wasn't on the field, it was a touchdown. That was it. It was interesting. I was watching the Virginia Tech game, and it took me until about the second quarter to realize he wasn't playing. And I realized, I'm like, oh, that's why Khalil Herbert had a career game against you, because Peyton Wilson's not there to keep everyone in check before the snap and then to actually tackle people. So Peyton Wilson, he wears number 11. He's the biggest player on the field, not named Aleem McNeil, it seems like, on that defense. Keep an eye out for him. I don't know what it is, but it seems like my brand guys this year are all coming from the ACC. And I'm okay with that. I am totally absolutely. Yeah. Well, none of you guys are going to encroach on my Sunbelt territory.
Yeah. It's a Sunbelt. Mike, I'm totally going to ruin Peyton Wilson for you real quick. Body type wise, he looks very similar to Pete Warner.
No, he doesn't.
I'm kidding. I'm actually kidding.
No, he doesn't. And he can play football.
I just want to see your reaction real quick. I'm sorry. That was forced.
I think that's a perfect place to end it for today. As always. So thank you all for tuning into episode 2. We will be back on your screens next Friday. And then the following week, we will be back on Blue Chip. We'll be back obviously on Blue Chip for what will be episode 4. But the return of the Big Shots NFL Draft podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, everything, that will be back. But until then, you can follow me on Twitter at MikeH_draft. You can follow Nick on Twitter at PriceCheck3. Follow Blue Chip Scouting on Twitter at Blue Chip Scout. Like, comment, subscribe, share, get the name out there. Buy the merch.
And if you don't, I will hunt you down. Anyway.
Wow. Buy the merch. Father's Day is coming up, and I think that everybody would look great in a Hollywood Dante Colonelli collection sweatshirt. Mm-hmm. Actually, maybe not a sweatshirt because it's really hot outside. We have them in t-shirts, and they come in every color imaginable.
Yes.
But until next week, guys, everybody have a great night.